All right. My story is about hope and optimism. Without hope, my presence in this country, on this stage, is very unlikely. I was born on a farm in a country with more than 1 billion people. My parents had no money, no resources, no information about how to break the shackles of poverty. All they had was hope. My mom in particular, she is the most hopeful, the most optimistic person I know. Deep down, despite of all her hard work and hardship, she knew if her kids could get proper education, they will have a better life. It was summer of 1991. I was 5, now you know how old I am. My grandparents, my mother's parents, they were having some sort of celebration, some sort of function. They lived about an hour from our place. We all decided to attend the function. We went there. By the evening, function was done. My grandfather came to me and asked, "Hey buddy, would you like to get a haircut?" There is an interesting story about haircut. Let me tell you that first. Whenever we had haircuts on the farm in my village, we didn't have a proper barber shop there. Whenever somebody needed a haircut, barber would come on a bicycle. All the kids in the neighborhood would gather, sit under the tree, and get a haircut one by one while seated on the ground. Now, when my grandfather asked me if I would like a haircut, immediately I said yes, because whenever I had traveled with my father in the towns around my village or farm, I had seen those fancy barber shops with fancy chairs and big mirrors, and I thought, this is my chance. This would be my first time getting a haircut sitting on the chair. I told my grandfather, yes, let's go. We went to a barber shop. I sat on the chair. That was my first haircut, sitting on the chair. And as soon as the barber started his job, I saw in the big mirror in front of me, my grandfather stepping out of the barber shop. By the time we were done, by the time the haircut was done, he came back. He paid the barber. At the same time, he handed over a little bag of plastic bag to me, which was filled with a bunch of candies in there. There were 10 of those orange candies. I was happy. We walked out of the store, started walking towards the home again. I was a happy kid, just had a fancy haircut. There were a bunch of candies in my pocket. We were about to leave for the home. As the home approached, I left my grandfather, started running with full excitement into the house. As I entered the house, I saw nobody was there. Not my father, my mother wasn't there, nor my sister. Only it was my grandmother in there. I came outside, I looked around, there was no vehicle, nobody. I realized they had played a trick with me. They had decided, everything was planned to leave me there so that I could stay with my grandparents and attend a school there. What a shock. I felt like having left on an island. No matter how much you shout, no matter how much you cry, no matter what you do, there is no way out. You can't get back to the world. For a kid of about 4 to 5 years old, his mother was a world to him, and without her, everything was shattered. Anyways, in a few days, things settled down. I made a few friends there. I started going to school there. I loved my grandparents. They were the nicest people I know. I started going to school there. In fact, I started to like it there more than my own home. I stayed there for quite a few years. I finished my high school with them, moved to another city, finished my college, moved to another bigger city, moved for my undergrad. By the time I reached undergrad, I had understood the importance of education, the power of hope and optimism. The hope had already played a big impact on my life before I knew what the hope is. My parents had made a sacrifice by leaving me at my grandparents' house, that was only for the hope of having a better life with a better education. And that was playing a big role in my life by the time I reached undergrad. With the hope, my dreams started to increase in size. I decided to get out of the country, pursue my graduate education in the United States. I came here in 2010. I did my master's and PhD from Texas A&M University. Now I work with them for the same institution as a graduate faculty. At the same time, I work for the state of Texas towards educating Texas farmers about scientific farming, the ways how they can grow the food and fiber in a manner that would cause minimum damage to the environment and human health, and at the same time how they can maximize their profits. It's been a very interesting journey from a small farm in India to the point where I'm working for the largest institution of agricultural research and extension in the world. Along the way, I changed many schools, many dorms, moved to many towns, cities, met new people, made new friends, learned many new languages. Several things changed. One thing remained constant was hope. The hope for better life, not just for myself or my family, also for the whole world. Friends, there would be times you may feel down, you may feel a little depressed, you may think things aren't working the way you want. No matter what, persist on giving all the efforts you can. Hang in there, never give up, and most importantly, never lose the hope, because hope is a good thing. And as Stephen King once said, maybe best of the things and no good thing ever dies. Over to you.